Welcome back to my channel. Today we will learn about the issue unfolding in ABC's General Hospital, the shocking revelation about Gio, his true parentage, and the emotional reckoning that follows. Let's get straight into it. In recent developments on General Hospital, Gio made a life-altering discovery that sent emotional ripples through several characters. The secret that he had unknowingly carried within his own story came to light. Gio is the biological son of Dante and Brooke. This revelation emerged after Gio overheard a private conversation between Lulu and Lois. That moment didn't just change Joe's understanding of himself, it triggered a powerful chain reaction across Port Charles, especially within the Courtroom family. Gio chose to confide in Tracy about what he had heard. The decision wasn't easy. But Gio, overwhelmed and seeking clarity, felt that Tracy, known for her sharp tongue but deep loyalty, was the one person who could help him make sense of everything. When he told Tracy the truth he had uncovered, she was floored. The idea that Brooke had a child in her youth and gave him up was news to her. Tracy had no idea her granddaughter had gone through such a pivotal moment in her life without ever telling the family. The revelation that Gio is her great-grandson stunned Tracy. Her reaction was a mix of disbelief, pain, and a fierce instinct to support the boy standing in front of her. Despite the initial shock, she embraced the situation with surprising grace. She didn't let judgment lead her response. Instead, she focused on comforting Gio, who, for all his outward strength, was clearly shaken by the enormity of this discovery. As they talked, Tracy shared stories from Brooke's youth, memories full of laughter, defiance, charm, and moments of vulnerability. She painted a picture of a girl who may have made mistakes but always had a kind heart. Brooke was never perfect, but she was always driven by love. Tracy emphasized that whatever choices Brooke made, they were likely done with pain and fear, not selfishness. This humanized Brooke for Gio, who had only known her from afar. But Tracy didn't stop there. She also told Gio about Dante, the man who turned out to be his biological father. Tracy spoke with pride about Dante's unwavering commitment to justice. As a police officer, he was known for always taking the moral high ground, often at great personal cost. She shared stories that revealed Dante's strength, his loyalty to those he loves, and the inner conflict that came from balancing duty with family. For Gio, this was a turning point. Up until now, Gio had felt abandoned, perhaps even unwanted. His life had been shaped by the absence of answers and by feelings of being left behind. But this conversation with Tracy gave him a new lens. He started to see his biological parents not as villains in his story, but as flawed humans who made complicated choices. They were young, probably scared, and living lives under the weight of family expectations and difficult circumstances. Tracy's warmth and openness had a profound impact. Her stories didn't change the facts, but they gave them context. That's what Gio needed more than anything, not excuses, but understanding. In the end, Gio made a crucial decision. He chose to forgive Brooke and Dante. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past. It doesn't take away the years of separation or the emotional scars. But for Gio, forgiveness meant liberation. He no longer had to carry the weight of resentment. He could step into a future that wasn't shackled to the pain of the past. Now, with this newfound clarity, Gio is determined to move forward. Brooke and Dante, for their part, have rebuilt their relationship. They are currently together and appear to be happy. But Gio, despite forgiving them, has a quiet, personal mission. Deep inside, he believes that Brooke and Dante still belong together, not just for their sake, but for the sake of their son. He's not planning to force anything or stir the pot, but he does want to be part of their lives. He wants to help nudge them toward a real reunion that goes beyond superficial harmony. Joe's perspective is unique. He's seen both Brooke and Dante through the eyes of someone who yearned for them, and now, as someone who knows they're his parents. He understands their pain, their silence, and their courage. And he also sees the cracks, the emotional distance that still exists between them, despite appearances. Gio knows that healing doesn't come overnight. But he's willing to be patient. He's willing to invest in building real bonds with both Brooke and Dante, not just as long-lost parents, but as people. He wants them to see who he is now, not just a forgotten child, but a man who is resilient, insightful, and full of heart. This is not a fairy tale arc. There's no neat bow to tie things up. The road ahead will be full of conversations, mistakes, awkwardness, and hopefully, some laughter too. Gio isn't expecting miracles. But he is committed to trying, and sometimes, that's all it takes. What makes this storyline in General Hospital so compelling isn't just the twist of hidden parentage. It's the raw emotional truth at its center. It's about identity, family, loss, and redemption. It's about how secrets, no matter how old, have the power to shatter or heal, depending on how we face them. Joe's character arc has now moved into deeper emotional territory. This is a transformation story. A boy who felt cast aside has become a man willing to forgive. A man who, despite the pain, chooses to build bridges instead of walls. And Tracy. Once the sharp-tongued matriarch, often guarded and skeptical, showed a softer, nurturing side. Her response to Joe's confession added layers to her character. It showed that the Courtroom family, for all its dysfunction, still has room for grace. As for Brooke and Dante, the question now isn't just whether they will stay together, it's whether they're ready to truly face their past. Will they open up to Gio about why they made the choices they did? Will they let themselves feel the guilt, and also the joy, of rediscovering their son? There's a lot to unpack. But what matters most right now is this: Gio is no longer in the dark. He knows who he is. And more importantly, he knows he's not alone. He has a grandmother in Tracy who believes in him. He has two biological parents who, however flawed, are not villains. And he has a future that he can now shape, not based on secrets, but on truth. That's all for today's breakdown on General Hospital. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a powerful turning point in the storyline, and we'll keep watching to see how Joe's journey continues. Will Brooke and Dante confront their past? Will the Courtooms rally around Gio? And what does this mean for the future of Port Charles? Next, we will dive deep into the dramatic and emotionally charged custody battle between Michael Corinthos and Willow Corinthos, a storyline that has gripped the residents of Port Charles and viewers alike with its intense twists and turns. As Michael storms back into town with unwavering determination to claim custody of Wiley and Amelia, Willow finds herself teetering on the edge of despair, fearing the loss of her beloved children. With alliances forming, betrayals looming, and shocking decisions on the horizon, this saga promises to keep us on the edge of our seats. Michael Corinthos returns with a vengeance. The reappearance of Michael Corinthos in Port Charles is nothing short of a seismic event, sending shockwaves through the lives of everyone involved in this bitter feud. After a prolonged absence, Michael has returned with a steely resolve, his sights set squarely on securing full custody of his children, Wiley and Amelia. His sudden comeback isn't just a surprise, it's a calculated move, laden with legal preparation and a burning desire to prove himself as the more stable and capable parent. Michael's presence exudes confidence, and his determination to reclaim his role as father is palpable in every interaction. Rumors around town suggest that he has spent his time away gathering evidence and building a case that could paint Willow in an unfavorable light, adding a layer of menace to his return. This dramatic re-entry has left Willow Corinthos reeling, her heart heavy with the fear of losing the two most precious parts of her life. Every moment with Wiley and Amelia now feels fleeting as she wrestles with the gnawing anxiety that Michael's influence and resources might tip the scales irrevocably against her. The once strong bond she shared with her children now feels fragile under the looming threat of a courtroom battle, and Willow is haunted by nightmares of an empty home, her children's laughter replaced by silence. Her desperation grows with each passing day, as she clings to the hope that someone, anyone, can help her protect her family from being torn apart. Drew Cain's unyielding support for Willow. In the midst of Willow's spiraling fears, Drew Cain emerges as her steadfast ally, a beacon of hope in an otherwise bleak situation. Drew has vowed to stand by Willow's side, promising her that he will move heaven and earth to ensure she retains custody of Wiley and Amelia. His assurances are not mere words, they are backed by a fierce determination to shield Willow from the heartbreak of losing her children. Drew's commitment goes beyond emotional support. He is actively strategizing, brainstorming ways to counter Michael's advances, and exploring every legal loophole that might give Willow an edge. His resolve is fueled by a deep sense of loyalty and perhaps a personal vendetta against Michael, whose actions have long stirred tensions in Port Charles. To bolster their defense, Drew has enlisted the expertise of Rick Lansing, a seasoned attorney known for his ruthless tactics in the courtroom. Rick's involvement brings a glimmer of optimism to Willow's bleak outlook, as Drew repeatedly reassures her that Rick will unearth any skeletons in Michael's closet that could sway the judge's opinion. However, Willow remains skeptical, her mind plagued by doubts about whether Rick can truly uncover damning evidence against a man as calculated as Michael. Her trust in Drew is unwavering, yet her faith in the legal system is shaky at best, leaving her to grapple with a roller coaster of hope and despair as the court date approaches. Drew, sensing her turmoil, doubles down on his efforts, determined to prove to Willow that she is not fighting this battle alone. Courtroom challenges and rising tensions. As the critical court hearing draws near, the outlook for Willow's case grows increasingly grim. Rick, despite his sharp legal mind, admits to Willow that Michael's return to Port Charles has dealt a severe blow to their chances. Michael's polished image as a dedicated father returning to reclaim his family paints a sympathetic picture for the judge, while Willow's past mistakes and emotional fragility are at risk of being weaponized against her. Rick's candid assessment sends Willow into a tailspin of panic, her worst fears materializing before her eyes. The courtroom, once a distant threat, now looms as a battleground where her life as a mother could be dismantled piece by piece. Drew, witnessing Willow's descent into fear, feels the weight of responsibility more than ever. His mind races with strategies to turn the tide, even as the odds stack against them. Whispers around town suggest that Drew is considering unconventional methods to sabotage Michael's case, hinting at a willingness to play dirty if it means protecting Willow's family. His protective instincts are in overdrive, and as the hearing date closes in, Drew's actions become more secretive, hinting at a plan that could either save Willow or plunge them all into deeper chaos. The tension in Port Charles is thick, with every resident holding their breath to see how far Drew will go to ensure Michael doesn't emerge victorious. The custody hearing, a battle of wits and wills. When the day of the custody hearing finally arrives, the courtroom becomes a theater of high-stakes drama. Michael's attorney, Diane Miller, is a force to be reckoned with, dismantling Willow's character with surgical precision. Diane paints a devastating portrait of Willow as a mother whose past decisions have endangered her children, suggesting that her instability could continue to harm Wiley and Amelia if custody remains with her. Each word from Diane feels like a dagger to Willow's heart, her confidence crumbling under the weight of public scrutiny. Meanwhile, Rick fights valiantly to counter Diane's attacks, but Michael's case appears ironclad, his image as the returning, responsible father resonating strongly with the judge. Behind the scenes, Drew's desperation reaches a boiling point. Unwilling to watch Willow lose everything, he pushes Rick to take extreme measures, even suggesting underhanded tactics like bribing the judge to sway the outcome. This shadowy move reveals a darker side to Drew, one driven by a fierce need to protect but also by a dangerous willingness to cross moral lines. The ethical dilemma weighs heavily on Rick, who must decide whether to risk his career for Willow's cause. As the hearing progresses, the atmosphere is electric with uncertainty. Will Diane's arguments seal Michael's victory, or can Rick and Drew pull off a last-minute miracle to save Willow from losing her children? A shocking turn, Drew's dangerous gamble. In a twist that no one in Port Charles could have foreseen, Drew's desperation leads him down a path of no return. Determined to secure custody for Willow by any means necessary, he makes the chilling decision to hire a hitman to eliminate Michael Corinthos once and for all. This drastic action is born from a belief that Michael's death would render the custody battle moot, leaving Willow as the default guardian of Wiley and Amelia. Drew's plan is shrouded in secrecy, known only to a select few, but the moral implications of his choice cast a dark shadow over his once noble intentions. The weight of this decision gnaws at him, yet he presses forward, convinced that the ends justify the means. As the final day of the custody decision approaches, danger lurks in the shadows of the gatehouse, where Michael resides. The hired hitman moves into position, a silent predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Bullets are poised to fly, and the potential for tragedy hangs heavy in the air. Will Michael survive this brazen attempt on his life, or will Drew's gamble pay off in the most horrific way? And if the truth behind the assassination plot comes to light, what will become of Drew? Will he face justice for his actions, or will he evade accountability in the chaotic aftermath? The residents of Port Charles are unaware of the storm brewing, but the consequences of this deadly scheme could reshape lives forever. Next, we will dive into the heartwarming story of a delightful evening shared by Nancy Lee Grahn and her on-screen and off-screen family from the beloved soap opera, General Hospital. This gathering, filled with laughter, bonding, and a sprinkle of real-life magic, has captured the attention of fans everywhere. Let's explore this unforgettable night in detail, from the cozy dinner to the playful banter that unfolded, and even the furry friends who joined in on the fun. A cozy dinner turned memorable night. Picture this, a warm Friday evening at Nancy Lee Grahn's welcoming home, where the aroma of a home-cooked meal fills the air. Nancy, a cherished star of General Hospital, opened her doors to Kate Monsey and Kristen Baganos, her on-screen daughters, as well as her real-life daughter, Kate Grahn. This wasn't just any dinner, it was a celebration of the close-knit bonds these women share, both in the dramatic world of Port Charles and beyond the camera's lens. Fans of the show, who had just tuned into the fourth episode of the iconic Nurses' Ball, were thrilled to catch a glimpse of this intimate gathering through social media. Nancy, known for her role as the fierce Alexis Davis, played the perfect host, whipping up a feast that brought everyone together at her dining table. As forks clinked and stories flowed, the atmosphere was nothing short of familial. But the night didn't stop at dinner. Nancy later shared a snapshot on Instagram. A charming image of the trio lounging on her bed with her adorable dogs nestled nearby. The photo radiated warmth, showcasing not just the actress's camaraderie but also their genuine connection, which transcends the scripted drama of General Hospital. Laughter and secrets under the covers. What happened after dinner stole the show and melted fans' hearts. As Nancy tidied up the kitchen, she was drawn to the sound of muffled giggles and spirited chatter echoing through the house. Curious, she followed the noise and discovered a scene straight out of a teenage sleepover. Kate Monsey, Kristen Baganos, and Kate Grahn huddled together on her bed, engrossed in playful gossip. In her Instagram caption, Nancy revealed the topic of their animated discussion, boys. She wrote with a touch of humor and affection, "My girls all came over for dinner. While I was cleaning up, I heard gabbing and giggling. When I went to find them, they were all in my bed talking about boys. I love our girl life." #JammyParty #GH. This candid moment painted a picture of pure, unfiltered joy. It wasn't just about the gossip, it was about the sisterly bond these women share, a dynamic that mirrors the family ties they portray on General Hospital. Fans couldn't help but adore this peek behind the curtain, where scripted relationships blossom into authentic friendships. The image of these talented actresses, dressed in cozy loungewear and surrounded by Nancy's beloved pups, added a delightful touch of relatability. It was a reminder that even soap opera stars, who often navigate intense on-screen drama, find solace in lighthearted, everyday moments just like the rest of us. Fans and stars react with love. The Instagram post quickly became a hotspot for fan engagement, with followers flooding the comments section with admiration. Kate Moncey, who plays Christina Corinthos Davis on the show, joined in on the fun with a witty remark, "Listen, we talked about girls too, ma." Her playful tone and subsequent comment, "Love you Grans," highlighted the deep affection she holds for Nancy and her family. This exchange underscored a beautiful truth: while Moncey and Vaganos may not be related to Nancy or Kate Gran by blood, their off-screen connection feels just as real as any family. Fans, too, were eager to express their delight. One follower gushed, "This is the kind of content we live for. Seeing you all together like a true family, with those cute fur babies stealing the spotlight, is everything." Another added, "You ladies look so relaxed and happy in that bed. It's amazing how your on-screen chemistry spills into real life." The inclusion of Nancy's dogs in the photo was a particular hit, with many fans noting how the pets seemed to be honorary members of this tight-knit crew, lounging comfortably among the group as if they, too, were part of the conversation. A spotlight on Kate Gran's rising star. Amidst the buzz surrounding the cozy girls' night, attention also turned to Kate Gran, Nancy's talented daughter, who has been carving her own path in the music industry. Balancing a career in music is no easy feat, especially in today's competitive landscape, but Kate has shown remarkable determination. Her mother often champions her efforts on social media, sharing snippets of her performances and encouraging fans to support her journey. During this gathering, whispers of Kate's musical talents surfaced in the comments, with fans reminiscing about her past appearance at the Nurses' Ball on General Hospital.